Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Knowledge will forever govern ignorance, and a people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives.
Gaining this knowledge is important if one's freedom of expression is violated. Christopher Dodd once said, when the public's right to know is threatened and when the right of free speech and free press are at risk, all of the other liberties are hold dear are endangered.
Hello, journtastic learners. I am Tutor Zen.
I am Tutor War. We are your tutor journalist and tutor tandem today.
And this is Campus Journalism for Beginners. Good afternoon once again, Tutor War. How are you this afternoon?
Good afternoon, Tutor Zen. Good afternoon. I'm doing great. I hope that our journtastic learners today are also doing great. Teacher or tutor Zen, today po is the World Compliment Day, and I would like to compliment you today for being so beautiful and so relax onto today's session po.
And I would take that as a compliment, right, Ma'am Morlene? With that also, Ma'am Morlene, I would like to say, since this is National Appreciation Day, that you are doing well, you are doing good, you are in the right track. Ayan. And what about to our dear Journtastic learners? Kumusta naman kayo in this afternoon? And what would you like to say to each other in relation to this national celebration today? Ayan.
So if there's one
Mhm.
word that you would like to say to your loved ones, what would it be? Today is the right day to say it. You may not chat in your messages to them. One or two words will be helpful, might be also a good way to start or brighten up somebody else's life today.
That's right, Tutor War. And of course, talking about brightening up the day, I know and I do believe that our day, our afternoon for this session, or our session's afternoon rather, our session for this afternoon is being brightened with the presence of our dear Journtastic learners. And with that, Tutor War, let us try to acknowledge them. Okay, so we have Jezreel Esber Tumbaga, Donna Maika Baldos, proud SPA from SDO Dasmariñas. Hello, Donna. And hello also to our beautiful senior high school program head, Ma'am Nova Dolor B. Pelayo. Good afternoon, ma'am. We also have Kylie Reed, Hershey Zay from Ocampo National High School, Ken Wesley Damayo, Uranium CBSHS. What about you, Tutor War? Can you also recognize our some of our dear learners?
Ayan. So thank you to our dear learners. Hi to Ma'am Donna Blanca Flor. Good afternoon, Tutor War. To Adrian T.B. Barromeo of Ocampo National High School. Hello. To Aubrey Lujanita. To Brian Milor. To Eliza. Good afternoon. Watching from Ocampo National High School as well. 11 STEM Uranium CBSHS. Mary Ann Yanson. Good afternoon. Honward Manloloyo from CBHS STEM 11 Chromium. Hello, good afternoon.
Mhm.
Alaya Edrial, Lyle Antoinette L. Flores, and to Daryl Shania Molina. Good afternoon, Shanti Mercader. And of course, to our supervisor, to our Ma'am Nova Dolere. Good afternoon po, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon again, Ma'am Nova. And I do believe to the war that there are a lot of our learners who are excited to have our session for this afternoon. Tama po ba, Tutor War?
Yes, definitely. They are in the right place. They are in the right session for you to learn and to explore the world around you.
Ayan. So once again, to our dear fantastic learners, welcome to DepEd ETUlay online tutorial. And for this afternoon, we or you are with your tutor tandems. We have Tutor Warlene from STO Caloocan, Tutor Zen, yours truly from STO Agusan del Sur, and we also have Tutor Joseph from STO Manila. So as what you can observe, again, our dear fantastic learners, our dearest tutors for this session are coming from the different places in the country. Ayan, so wider yung scope natin. Tama po ba, Tutor War, ng mga tutors in this session?
Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, teacher, though, since we are from different places, it means that we are really catering diverse kind of learners, and we will be offering you a diverse kind of teaching technique.
Yes, precisely, Churwar. But before that one, Churwar, before we're going to have our lesson, maybe some of our learners are curious as to why is it that Ma'am Nova is no longer with us. Actually, uh, Tutor Nova is still with us, but she's one of the director, and she's gonna be directing the ETUlay sessions, especially for the senior high school. So for the meantime, makakasama niyo kami, yung bagong tutor tandem, Tutor War, me, and Tutor Josa. Ayan. So, ayan na, to our dear Journtastic learners, this is our episode guide, and we have here the topics from weeks 1 to 8. Ayan. So, in this afternoon session, we are already in this part. We are in the third week, and it's press freedom and its limitation. Ayan. So once again, our topic this afternoon, together with Tutor Zen, Tutor Warlene, and Tutor Josa, is the press freedom and its limitations. But before that one, let us first try to identify the goals that we are aiming to achieve at the end of this session. So what are these goals? You, Journtastic learners, are expected to first review the previously discussed concepts, second, define press freedom, and third, enumerate limitations of press freedom. Ayan. Okay, so I do believe that our dear Fantastic learners, Tutor War, are really excited to participate in our activities that we have prepared for this afternoon. Sabi nga, kagaya nga nung sinabi mo kanina, di ba, Tutor War, we have prepared varied activities for them. All
Yes,
right?
definitely. You are correct, Tutor Zen. And with that, in regards to what you have mentioned, today we shall start this activity with a true or false. So basically, this is just what we usually do no, in our class. All you have to do is to type in true if you found the statement to be correct and false if you found the statement to be incorrect. So the statements that we are about to give you are based on last week's session. Okay,
Yes.
so dear participants, Teacher Zen, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready, and so with our students. By the way, dear Journtastic learners, do not forget to prepare the comment section for your answers. Now, let's start for the number one tutor war. The first statement in here is describing an event is one of the roles of a journalist. Can you still remember this from our previous session, our dear Journtastic learners? What could be the answer for this one? Is it true or false? Just type true if the statement is correct and false if the statement is not in the comment section. All right.
Okay.
So we can see in here some answers provided by our learners. Chudorwar, we have from Meiji, true. Jesserel, Tumbaga, true. James, true. Daniel, La, true, true. Most of them have answered true. Let's try to check Chudorwar for
The
number
correct
one.
answer is
Yes.
Teddyland.
True, yes. So most of our learners got the correct answer for the first statement. Now let's go to the second statement, Chudorwar.
The next statement is a journalist must follow the rules of the company he or she works in, even if it involves altering facts. Again, a journalist must follow the rules of the company he or she works in, even if it involves altering facts. Is it a true or is it a
Or
false? Number
yes.
two, then your answer.
Mhm. Mayroon tayong word dito na altering facts, truth or war, right? Mhm.
Yes.
And it can give clue to our dear learners on what would be the answer for the second statement. Yes, we have answers, a lot of answers from Alan, Laili, John Kobe, Jonalyn, James, false, Hannah, and all of them answered false.
False. Okay, let's
Yes,
see.
all right. Yes. Good job. You got it correctly for number two, our dear fantastic learners. What about for number three? And this is the statement. Your persistence will make you succeed in journalism. This is being inquisitive. Again, your persistence will make you succeed in journalism. This is being inquisitive. What could be the answer for number three? Is it true or false? Again. So,
Tin, tin, tin.
yes, we have your answers from Meiji, Sheila, Mary Marian, Ken Wesley Damayo, Alea Kate Etrial, Desiree Vera, Carlo Miguel, Donna, Ralph Faulkner. Okay, I do not know how to pronounce her family name. Jan Cobb, Lepetin, True. Okay, most of our students, Tudor
Mhm.
War, yes, are answering true. Now let's try to check the answer for number three. Yeah. Okay,
Yes, that's correct. Very good.
very good.
Ayan. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely they listened carefully to last week's discussion, but let's now proceed. Oh,
All right. So for the fourth one, shooter war. So I guess we'll just have to give that to them
mhm.
since the answer is already provided. So the fourth statement is to interpret an event is also a role of a journalist. All right. And okay, for this one, okay. So the answer is false for number four. And the last
False.
one,
Yes,
yes. And the last one is reading is not necessary in journalism, in which the answer is also false.
definitely
Yes.
false.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes, because reading is actually connected to journalism. It's like
definitely true.
both of them must come together. Now that's for the review of our previous lesson, and most of our dear learners here, Tutor War, have or got the correct answer for the review.
I
Congratulations, and you did well. Fantastic learners. All right. Okay. And with that, also Tutor War, here it is. We are now flashing on your screen, our dear fantastic learners, the outputs that you have submitted from our previous session. The task was for you to select one of the tips out from the 10 that we had provided from the last session. Okay. But as what we have promised, we will be selecting the student journalist of the week out from these outputs. Now, excited na ba kayo, our dear fantastic learners, kung sino yung i-declare natin na winner? Uh-huh. If you are excited, type 1 in the comment section. Ayan. What about you, Tutor War? Excited na ba to know the winner of this activity or this task?
definitely Tutor Zen. No, I have seen really good works coming from our journalistic learners. The outputs are really in there. The ideas, the contents were all presented well with their work.
Mhm.
But of course, diba, in every contest, there's only one winner.
Winner. Yes, I do agree with that, Tutor War. Most of the students really had this fantastic outputs as well as meaningful outputs that they had submitted. But of course, we will be selecting one. And with that, let us give our congratulations to the one who got the award. And it's no other than, okay, this one. So this output was from James M. Maswangat from City of Bugo Senior High School. And congratulations, James, because you are held as Student Journalist of the Week. Congratulations, you did well. All right.
Yeah.
Mm,
Congratulations, James. Keep it up.
keep up the good work. Yes. And this time, as what again we had mentioned earlier, our dear learners, we had prepared varied activities for you in this afternoon. So let's have this another activity, and it's called the emoji game. So what are you going to do in this game? So it's just simple. We will be presenting to you some icons or images, and that you will have to identify the word that we're looking for using the icons that we have in here. You just need to combine the ideas being reflected from these icons. Now, get ready, for we will now go to the first one. Tutor War?
Okay, so let us now have the picture connection. And what do you think the pictures say?
Mm-hmm.
If we are
We
going to
all
connect all these pictures, not teacher Zen, tutor Zen, what word we
ye-
can come up with?
yes, you're right, Tutor War. And also we have letters below the images as clues for the answer for this activity. Ayan.
You
So
may
what
now
do you
type
think?
in.
Yes. You may now type in your answers in the comments section. You can use also the letters as clue for the answer. What do you think is this word? Mm-hmm.
Actually, teacher, this is two words. No, this is two
Yes.
words.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. Tutor War. And the first word starts with letter P. And
I guess, teacher, there's already somebody who have
okay.
answered it correctly. And the first
Mm-hmm.
one who got it correctly is John Carlo Tero Orquez. And the correct answer is
Okay, let's try to reveal. All right.
okay,
Press
press.
freedom. Mm-hmm. Yes. You're right, Tutor War. And also there are still other students who also get the correct answer
Yes,
for
that is.
those first one. Yes. How about this one?
What
Mm-hmm.
do you think the picture says?
Mm-hmm.
There's also two
So,
words, teacher.
yes, Tutor War. Two words. The first word starts with letter C. And the second word ends with W. And let's take a look at the images. And here we have, it's like a prohibition.
Yeah,
We
kosher
have the word,
sign.
yes. What do you think is the
The
correct
second
answer
word,
for
I
the
guess, can we just give some clues, teacher, so that they will not be having difficulty?
yes, yes, Sugar
So,
War. Wait, okay.
so the second word has three letters lang. It has only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, according to Darlene, Shania Molina, cautionary law, try lang po. Sabi niya. Okay,
Yes, that's good. Okay.
that's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
According
Another
to
clue.
Heidi here. Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
It's
cautionary law.
law.
Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. So as a clue also for our students, Tutor War, the word that we're looking for somehow implies protection of
Mm-hmm.
someone's ownership of a work.
The word has become a sensation, no? When we started our online setup, right? In
Mm,
every activity that we do, when we get something from YouTube or which is not from us, this law or this word becomes a household word
mm.
term.
Yes, that's right, Tutor War. Okay, another clue that we can give for them is that the first word, if it starts with letter C, it ends with letter T.
Oh,
Ayan.
I guess
Oh!
Tudor Zen. Somebody got the correct answer already?
Yes, and who is that, Tutor War? Can you recognize the
And that is Jonaline Remulta. And that the answer is, and to be followed by Jean Theodore Peregrino.
hmm? Yes, and we
And
also have Sian Christoph Codiera, Tutor War. Okay. He also, I think he also got the correct answer. Let's try to reveal now if your answers are correct pertaining to the second set of images.
oh,
Ayan. Here we go. The correct answer is copyright law. Ayan. And what about this last set of images? Okay. Mm-hmm. So we have in here, last set of images, we are looking for a word or an idea that has two words. in it. And the first word starts with letter N, and we also have the clue letter, that's C for the second word.
Oh, there's this bright student in here, Teacher Zen.
Yes, and I can see also his answer. It's James M. Maswangat. Let's try to reveal if James, as well as the other tuties in
I guess
here,
it's
got the correct
Johanna
answer.
Lindsay Meneses got it first, to be followed by
Mhm.
Roby and then James.
Okay, let's try now, Chitterward, to reveal the answer. All right.
Yay!
It's national security. And yes, most of our students still got the correct answer. And with that, you did a good job for our emoji game. Congratulations. All right. Mhm. So here we go now. True War.
Okay, so before we proceed with our discussion today, what I would like you to do, our dear journtastic learners, is to give me one or two words that you may associate with the word press freedom. What are the terms that you may have when it comes to press freedom? Okay, so let
Mhm.
us hear your response on our chat box. When you hear the word press freedom, what comes in your mind?
Mhm. So I would like to start with that first, True War. Would that be okay?
Sure, sir, teacher Tutor Zen.
All right. So maybe if I would ask what word I can associate with press freedom, it's the word right
Mhm.
or karapatan. Yan. So that's what I can associate with the idea of press freedom. What about you, Tutor War?
I guess with me, Tutor Zen, as a school paper advisor, I really teach my journalists, my campus journalists, the term responsibility. Again, so I
Oh,
would
yeah.
love them to be responsible with everything that they do and whatever they say and however they act or whatever they act, and they definitely in whatever they write, because every actions that they will take, they will be responsible, and I know they must be responsible with it.
Mm-hmm. Wow, well
Okay.
said, Tutor War. And also we have in here a word given by Meiji Lepitan Contento, and the word is could be independence. Okay, she says
Nice.
independence. Yes. There it could be that she associated the word with independence in the sense that there is the word freedom. All right.
Okay.
And we also have from John Carla Tero Orcas transparency. All right. Do you agree with
Nice.
that, Sugar War?
Definitely, freedom is transparency. Everything must be transparent. Everything is presented to the people. Diba? You shouldn't hide anything.
Mm-mm. Yes, that's right. Especially if you are one of the public servants, right, Sugar War?
Definitely, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
According to Darlene Shan and Mom Tutor Zen, can I just read?
Mm-hmm.
According to Darlene Shanaya Molina, we can say everything we want to say, but not hurting anyone.
Wow. Yes. Yes. That's right, Darlene. No. Yes, we have this freedom to express what we want, but then again, we should know our limits, especially when it comes to stepping over people, especially their dignity and so on. Yes. Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and
According
with that,
to
yes.
yeah, last one,
Sure. Right.
teacher, because I really love this term. No, according to Jan Theodore Peregrino, the term press freedom is liberty.
Mm.
So it's
Yes.
really a vast word, but definitely it has really a deep impact and it has really a deep sense of definition. So thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Jean, for giving us this definition of press freedom.
Yes, that's right. So to the war, so much for that. Thank you so much, our dear journalistic learners, for sharing to us your ideas pertaining to the word press freedom. Now let's try to have a deeper understanding on the word press freedom. Now, what does this concept mean? So if we talk about press freedom, it is defined as the right of the people to express themselves in writing or in any other way of expression of personal opinion or creativity. Ayan. So, pag sinabi nating press freedom, wait, okay. Pag sinabi nating press freedom, it is our right to express whatever we want to say, especially with our roles as campus journalists. It could be in the form of writing or it can be done orally, as long as you have this idea that you want to the public to know of, then you have this right to say it without being hindered or without being interrupted by any individual or entity. Ayan. So, it's another way or any way of expression of personal opinion or creativity. So, if ever you have experienced being barred by someone when you are talking about something, that could be somehow a form of violation of your freedom of expression. Ayan. So, in our country, we are blessed. We are lucky that we have these promulgations, we have laws that protect our rights to express our ideas. So, regarding that law, so we will have that one later on in the discussion. So, would you like also to add to the war for this one?
Yes, Tutor Zedo. When it comes to freedom of expression, no, we are talking about not only when it comes to writing. Because what it is being defined here is only in writing, but definitely it would talk about different kinds of media. Whether it will be in broadcast, it would be in radio, it would be in television, and even if in terms of our social media account. So we have to be ensured that once we have expressed ourselves, no, we must be able to exercise our right. So let me just point out some terms that teacher or tutors has given us a while ago. The term hinder. So make sure that once we are given the right to speak, the right of freedom of expression, nobody should have the right to hinder us from doing it. So, but of course, you have to remember, just like what it is mentioned to you, just like what you have given us a while ago, without stepping onto somebody else's feet or
Mm-hmm.
without hurting anybody. So you have to remember that in every action that we do, in whatever words that comes out in our mind, we have to be responsible, and we should not let anybody, we should not let somebody be hurt. Yeah. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Teacher Zen.
Yes, precisely Tudor War. And also talking about the legal foundations in the country that would support this freedom of expression, we have in here the Section 4, the Article 3, or Section 4, Article 3 from the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution, which states that no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, or of the press or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. Ayan. So, just like what Tudor War said a while ago, no, um, hindi dapat tayo mahihinto with any individual who's trying to hinder us from expressing our ideas or opinions, especially when it comes to issues that are of public concern. Ayan. What about you, Tudor War?
Yes. So we will still go back, no, to the basic of it. No? We have to ensure that um in every power that we have, we also have to be responsible of it. Though we are given a chance to speak, we are given a chance to say what we want to say, but ensure that we are still abiding to the Constitution. We still be abide, or we should abide to to the predicaments of the laws, and of course definitely of our Constitution. And of course, as human beings, no, do na tayo we do not, regardless of the laws and the Constitution that we have, but we as human beings, we have our responsibility to be good to other people, despite
Mhm.
we are given the chance to speak, despite the fact that we are given the chance to say what we want to say. Again, we'll go back to the answer of our fantastic learners. We should not let anybody, we should not hurt anybody. Ayan. So
Mhm.
thank you, teacher,
And
tutor Zen.
thank you also, Tudor War. And I love what you said earlier, no, about your responsibility and the word power. Like it reminded me of the words given by Spider-Man, no. With great power comes great
Comes with great
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yes, ayan. So, though you have that right, you must also exercise your responsibility for that. Ayan. So, moving on. We have in here another legal foundation that we could use that protects our freedom of expression, and it's the Republic Act number 7079, or also known as the Campus Journalism Act of 1991. Ano nga bang meron sa RA na to? So in this one, it is a declared policy of the state to uphold and protect the freedom of the press even at the campus level, and to promote the development and growth of campus journalism as a means of strengthening ethical values, encouraging critical and creative thinking, and developing moral character and personal discipline of the Filipino youth. In furtherance of this policy, the state shall undertake various programs and projects aimed at improving the journalistic skills of students concerned and promoting responsible and free journalism. So hindi lang nag-end yung protection natin, this freedom of expression on the members of the media or the press of the press. It also protects the rights of the students, particularly those who are engaging in campus journalism. Now, we have the words in here, the campus level. At the campus level, the protection goes on in that level, as well as hindi lang hinohone yung journalistic skills natin in this law, in this promulgation. It's not just about our skills in writing or our skills in cartooning or whatever field you are engaging with in campus journalism, but it also deals with developing your ethical values as a campus journalist. Now, remember that earlier we have mentioned this for multiple times, the word responsibility. If you are one of the student journalists, you will develop this sense of responsibility, particularly in having your or in publishing your writings. Like responsibility in the sense that you as the writer will be checking and rechecking the facts or information that you are including in your write-ups. Like it's your responsibility to check the veracity and accuracy of the information that you have provided in your news article or article that you are writing. And aside from that, also, campus journalism will teach you the word patience as well as respect. Patience in the sense that as a campus journalist, especially if, for instance, if you are assigned with a task that would let you interview the school principal. Yeah, so we are all aware with the fact that school principals are have this matters that they have to deal with at that moment that you scheduled him or her in an interview. So with that, in that case, pwede na, in that situation, pwede i-cancel ni or i-postpone ni principal yung interview nyo kasi may mga important matter na kailangan niyang asikasuhin muna. So that's the time that with that one, you can develop your virtue in patience or as being patient. Aside from that, also we have encouraging critical and creative thinking of our Filipino youth. Critical in the sense that your role as a student journalist, you're not just simply describing or presenting the information, but you will also have to interpret at the same time to foreshadow or predict the consequences of the issue that you are writing about. Ayan, so with that, you are applying the analytic skills, ina-analyze mo yung information mo when it comes to interpreting that issue, and also kung yung facts mo, is it logical or your information, is it logical with the facts that you have presented? And the last one is your creative thinking skills. Like you will not just be settling with merely presenting the information by answering the WH and 1H question. Like you will also have to think of creative ways on how are you going to present your article in an interesting but meaningful manner. So yun. So yun yung mga pwede nating ma-develop when we engage ourselves in campus journalism. And in furtherance with that, Tutor War.
Yes, in connection to what tutor Zen has said, no, mga anak, when you tend to become a campus journalist, we have to exercise not only being responsible, but also we have to be credible. Just like
Mm-hmm.
what teacher Zen has said, no, you shouldn't only look onto the one side of things. No, we have to find factual and truthful information. A lot of information are really scattered all over the places, whether it will be in internet, whether it will be in books, whether it will be in magazines. But we have to decipher which tells the truth, which tells the fact. And by that, it will not only develop your journalistic skill, but more so of your character development. It will develop your character as not only as a journalist but also as an individual. Take note of the term campus level. Definitely, because everything starts not only in home, no, but also in school. So when you have started to become, once you have started to become a campus journalist in a younger age, you have already imbibed the characteristics of what a responsible, credible campus journalist is. And that is
Mhm.
something that we need to be proud of as campus journalists. This is something that we cannot be taken away from us. Okay, so thank
Mhm.
you.
Thank you with that, Tutor War. And with that, now, those are the scope, those are the rights that we can have as campus journalists or that we can exercise being campus journalists or members of the campus journalism. Now, let's talk about the other side of the coin. For earlier, we have the privileges. Now, let's also come now with the limitations of the press freedom. And one of this is what we call the libel. Ayan. So libel is generally defined as the defamation of character in writing. Ayan. I do believe that our dear journalistic learners, Tutor War, are somehow familiar with the word libel. Ito yung paninirang puri sa isang tao in the form of writing. If we talk about if you have or what we call this defamation in the form of speaking, that's what we call the slander. Ayan. So itong libel, it's actually a serious crime. It's a punishable crime in the sense that once you are being found out to have humiliated someone, defamed someone, or any individual that have caused dishonor or discredit to that someone, then you will be liable for this case. So say for instance, the names or the titles that you have included in your writing, be careful of the names kasi pwedeng that could be a danger zone for you, dear journalistic learners. No, it could be used for you for this one, especially when it is not used appropriately in your writing. Ayan. But okay,
I
so much
see.
for the libel. The next one to
Okay.
the war is we have.
Moving forward to the anti-obscenity law. So from the term itself, this is according to Senate Bill number 2464, the Anti-Obscenity or Pornography Act of 1998. So basically in here, if you are caught spreading or sending pornographic or ano, mga malicious pictures, not only through social media but also in print or even ano no, even in verbal form, we might be also forgetting our freedom of speech. You have to remember, no, that everything that would be on offense of somebody else's or would hurt somebody else's, it's punishable by the law. So everything that would be pornographic or anything that would be obscene, as we call it, no, is prohibited. Moving forward, teacher Zen, number three.
Yes, Tudor War. And for the third one, it's the invasion of privacy law. Ayan. So Article 26 of the Civil Code states that every person shall respect the dignity, personality, privacy, and peace of mind of his neighbors and others. We are all aware of the fact that each of us has this what we call the private aspect in our lives. And if you are a student journalist, you must be observant with that. You must somehow make sure that you get the information out from that person that you are interviewing. At the same time, you have not violated their privacy. Ayan. So, pwede ding, in this type of offense, pwede din tayong makakommit nito once we try to pry into the privacy of another's residence. Like, for example, gusto nating makuha or makakuha ng information out from that individual. Kaya ginagawa natin, pinupuntahan natin or minaman-manan natin sa bahay, which is not really good and it's still punishable. It's still a crime. Meddling private life or family relations. Aside from that, we also have humiliating another. pinapahiya mo siya in respect to his religious belief, lowly station in life, yung condition niya sa life, status niya sa life, place of birth, physical defect, or any physical condition. Anything that could hurt, that could disturb the peace of mind of your neighbors can be considered invasion of the privacy law. And that's the third limitation that we have as campus journalists. The fourth one, tutor war.
The fourth limitation is the national security law. Of course, anything that would threaten our national security, our sovereignty, is would be against our speech or would eliminate our freedom or our ano no right to public or to free speeches. So we have to remember that we always have to safeguard our sovereignty, safeguard our law, safeguard our national interest, because the same way as our government is protecting our welfare. So I know naman that you are watching, you are well aware of what's happening uh with Ukraine and with Russia. No, you can see that the president of Ukraine is really intact into covering his country and protecting his people with their national security law. So this is what is happening. No, if you keep or if you somehow becomes a threat to the national security of the country, syempre medyo ano na ang security natin diyan, medyo magkakaroon tayo ng problema diyan. So be sure na sabi nga nila, you do not wash your linen in the public, as they call it. So if there are issues concerning into the Philippines only, just talk it here. No, ito yung mga problema when it comes to spying. So if there will
Mhm.
be some spies, no, so medyo nagkakaroon ng problema dito. So you have to be well aware that everything that we say would not threaten the national security of the country. And the
Mhm.
last limitation, I sorry, teachers.
Yes, no, it's okay to war. Yes, and I agree with you with your statement earlier. And the last one is the copyright law. So when we talk about the copyright law or the word copyright, it is the legal protection extended to the owner of the rights in an original work. So in our times, our dear journalistic learners, we know that most of the information na ginagamit natin sa ating write-ups are actually inspired from the works of others. Ayan, so especially for instance, if we talk about in research, we get ideas out from the ideas proposed by the previous researchers. Now, if you're going to have this one, then you must also make sure that you are citing your source. Kasi yung mga owners ng ating source, they are protected by the copyright law, and that if you are the one committing the offense, then you are liable for plagiarism. So, when it comes to that, also, aside from the writings, we also have this law that protects media, the piracy, parang ganyan, no? Piracy of information. For example, that's for the RA 8292, the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines, in which, and the Optical Media Act, ito yung hinahanap ko, yung Optical Media Act, in which, for example, in the films, in the shows, in the movies, yan, the owner of the film, the shows, are being protected by this Optical Media Act. Like, pinoprotektahan nila yung work na ginawa nila in the form of those media, in the form of those shows, in the form of those films. Ayan. So just remember that in the copyright law, as a student journalist, you must keep, or you must avoid rather, having this copy pasting activity. Parang kung nakakakita ka ng information dyan out from the a certain internet source, then you must not copy paste it directly. You must check its correctness. At the same time, you must also acknowledge the author in which you have borrowed the ideas, or whom you have borrowed your ideas. And that's the last limitation for the press freedom. So again, um, our dear journalistic learners, to sum up our discussion this afternoon, we have talked about press freedom, what could be its scope, and what is this freedom all about, or what is the privilege that you can get out from being a campus journalist. And aside from that, we have also presented the other side of it, and it's the limitations of the press freedom. And what are those, tutor war?
Of course, in every, sabi ko nga kanina, in every power, it comes with great responsibility. But of course, there are limitations when it comes to press freedom, like the libel, the anti-obscenity law, the invasion of privacy law, and the national security law, and of course the copyright law. So we have to ensure that we must observe our right attitude towards this one para hindi mawala ang ating karapatan.
Yes, that's right, Ma'am Warna. And also, before we end this session, let us leave you the journtastic task of the week, and we look forward to seeing your outputs in our next session. So, what is our campus journtastic task of the week, Tutor War?
Our journtastic task for the week is to you to write a pledge on how to keep and practice press freedom as a campus journalist. You may write 5 sentences lang, or if you like, you may write it in a form of a poetry, kahit mga 5 lines lang, as long as you present to us how you will practice and keep your press freedom as a campus
That's
journalist.
true. Ayan. So do not forget, our dear Journtastic learners, to post your outputs in our DepEd ETUlay Facebook group. The link is provided here below. You can screenshot with this one rather, so that you can submit your outputs in there. And then do not forget to use the hashtag Campus Journtastic Task. Ayan. So again, we are using the Campus Journalism in a New Generation book as our reference, and that's by Jelly Eligio Alquino, 2011 edition. Thank you so much for this author. And for the meantime as well, the DepEd Itulay online tutorial in collaboration with Philippine Commission on Women supports and participates in the National Women's Month celebration that will start today, March 1 until March 31, 2022, with the theme We Make Change Work for Women. So, ang advocacy nito is to support the rights of the women towards the progress of our country. Ayan. So, do not forget also, our dear learners, to stay attuned because we will still have our up next session, and that's for the e-teatro class. But do not forget as well to take note of the link for the feedback for this session. Ayan. So, Tutor War, would you like to say something to our dear learners?
It has been a pleasure to be with you, our dear Gentastic learners. That you are so participative on today's discussion. We are hoping that to see you next session, no, with the same energy, with the same enthusiasm, and the same eagerness to join us towards this journey of campus journalism. Together with Tutor Josa, this has been Tutor War, reminding you to always to be stay happy and don't forget to smile and keep safe.
I love that, Tutor War. And also, this is your Tutor Zen telling you that we are just travelers in the lane of love and learning. Down the road, we will surely meet again. Again, thank you so much to our dear learners. We really hope to see you next week for our next session. And I hope you learned a lot of things today for the campus journalism for beginners. So God bless everyone. Again, be happy, just like what Tutor War had said. Thank you and keep safe.
Yes. God bless. Keep safe. See you next week.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!